introduce you to Sheila Sweet Salt from the Salters Company. Sheila, how are you doing?
Hi Fayon, thank you so much for having us, and thank you to the virtual Sutton Science Festival. It's so exciting. I mean, it's a real first for us, but we're really excited. And can I just say, here in sunny Southampton, it is absolutely boiling. It's the perfect day to make ice cream.
Ooh, well look, I'm all ready. I'm all summery ready. I thought, should I wear a jumper? No, we're going to be making ice cream. Let's make it cool.
Perfect.
So can you tell me then, this idea of making ice cream from such simple things in your kitchen cupboard, where did this all stem from?
Well, that's a really good question, Fayon. We use a secret ingredient that is found in so many chemical reactions, but actually you kind of need to reverse back in history. You need to do a bit of time traveling because the Salters Company is a livery company. Now, that's a really weird word. Do you want to take a guess? Does anyone at home want to ask the person next to them? Maybe put it in the chat. What do you think a livery company is, Fayon?
Well, I have a good idea actually what one is. I'm wondering if anybody out there knows. Quick fingers on the pulse. No? Okay, you tell me.
Okay, perfect. So livery companies were set up in medieval times. We're more than 600 years old, and we're based in the city of London, and we act as sort of trade unions. So think if the fishmongers, they traded in fish, the goldsmiths traded in gold. Fayon, if we're called the Salters Company, please tell me, what do we trade in?
Salt.
Got it. Excellent. I'm so pleased you got that right. I hope everyone at home at school did as well. So we traded in salt. And back in the medieval times, the reason that salt was so important is because it acted as a preservative, because they didn't have things like fridges or freezers. They didn't have any electricity. So they needed this salt to draw out all the bad bacteria, the moisture, so that the food would last over the winter months. And even today, salt is used in so many chemical reactions, and that is what we're going to be doing today. That's where it all stems from.
Wow. I mean, if you look at most food, no matter what it is, there's salt in it, the sweetest of things.
I know, it's amazing.
So I can't wait to see this in action. And of course, the students who are watching today, you're going to be able to watch this video over and over, and you'll be able to make your own ice cream with whatever flavors and toppings that you like. So let's just see how easy it is to make, because I mean, if you're not that brilliant at science, is that going to be a problem?
Fayon, it's not going to be a problem at all. Let me tell you, my background is not science, it's not chemistry. I've learned it and I've taught myself that, and it's really fun, which is what the best bit is. Like, my background is history and art, but it's not science and chemistry. But because it's so fun and it's so accessible, and you can just have a go and you can keep trying it, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work the first time. It's really simple.
Cool. Most great things that are around us all the time didn't come off from the first time that they were tried, many, many, many times over. So with this one, I think you're going to have a lot of fun trying it over and over and getting it wrong.
Yeah. You just get to eat ice cream over and over again. It's brilliant.
This be. Okay then, well, off you go.
Okay, so I thought what we'd do is, first of all, we'd go through what you needed. You briefly showed before, but also for anyone at home, you might have the the instructions and the methods here. So we're just going to go through and I can show you the kind of things you need. And the amazing thing about this experiment is that everything is pretty much in your kitchen, and it's stuff that you'll know that's in the back of the cupboard, wedged right at the back, and it's been there for years and you won't know. So we've got salt. Very important. We've got caster sugar. This is really important that it's caster, not granulated. You've got some vanilla essence, but what's so exciting is that you could try any other different flavors or toppings. Some lovely milk here. And we've got ice as well. Nice bag of ice there. And you're going to need a small zip seal bag and a large zip seal bag. Now, if I can just recommend a little top tip here, always try and get the ones that have got the zip seal, because sometimes when you're doing it, it'll pop out and it's like a crisp packet. It can just explode everywhere. So those, so those are everything you're going to need, and just some tablespoons and teaspoons for measuring things out. But like I said, it's all really simple. It's stuff that you can find in your kitchen. It's really accessible. So should we get started?
Please.
Okay, so if you've got your worksheet in front of you, it's on the instructions for making ice cream. So you're going to need your measuring jug, and you are going to measure out 150 milligrams of milk. So let's just measure this out like this. So you've got your 150 ml of milk. Now, I use full fat because it's the particles that you need to all come together. So I haven't tried it with your, what did you say it was?
I was going to say, so I'm lactose intolerant, so I've got like an oat one, but you know, we've got like the almond one that we have, we've got the chocolate one, we've got all the flavours. So does that mean the consistency isn't going to be quite as good?
Well, I mean, like I said, I haven't tried that, but I think that's what's really exciting about this experiment, is that you can try it. And the consistency, I think, with coconut milk, it might be fine. I think with hemp milk as well, you could try that. But give it a go, Fail.
Goat's milk.
Oats milk, and you can try goat. Yeah, try goat. Give it a go. I love all this random milk that you're bringing me. And you're going to go for a teaspoon of sugar. Now, I have to tell you guys at home, this is my confession. I have got such a sweet tooth, so I put in quite a generous size thing of a teaspoon of milk. And then
things I was just going to say with this, brush your teeth after, and do make sure you ask your parents' permission as you start going through the whole cupboard, because you can imagine mum and dad going to make their coffee and there's no sugar left.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't go down well. That wouldn't go down well. And like I said, I'm always very generous with my portions, but you want to make sure as well that you stir it in quite well, because otherwise it all gets stuck to the bottom and you don't get it as sweet, and you need it for your sweet salt. So you are going to open up your small zip seal bag like this, nice and open, and you are going to very carefully pour your milk in. Now you might need a bit of teamwork. I'm going to give a go doing it by myself. Let's see how it goes. Off camera, here we go. It's all going well so far, guys. Excellent, see?
Oh, well done.
In there. Now, another top tip is that you're going to want to get all the air out. So if you crush it all out, and you're going to do it up, and you're going to place that to the side for a second. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. This is where you guys at home and at school and Fayon, you're going to become the chemists and scientists, and you're going to work as a team and you're going to investigate, because the Salters Company got a little bit sneaky. We told you how much milk you need, and we told you how much vanilla essence, but we didn't tell you how much ice you're going to need.
Ooh.
Or how much salt you're going to need. So because I'm not actually going to do the part with you, the actual making part with you, I'm going to give you a top tip and another kind of helpful hint. So for the ice, so you've got your large zip seal bag here, and I would put in a good quantity of ice to get started. So you'll see me putting it in here. So there's some ice.
Think party. Think, you know, you're having a party.
Exactly.
Nice and cool. So plenty of ice.
That's it. You want to put in a really nice, generous amount. You see, I'm still going with it. Still going.
I mean, when you think about, you know, brain freeze when you have ice cream and it just like, this is how cold it needs to be.
This is exactly how cold it needs to be. Okay. Now, so this is just, that's my starting amount of ice. Fayon, can you see everyone?
I can see that.
All good? Okay, excellent. And then this is the salt, okay? So again, haven't told you, but if you've thought about it before your experiment and you're working as a team, maybe you could do a hypothesis, a prediction of what you think is going to happen and what do you think the salt's going to do. Now, again, sneaky little top tip here, guys, for you. Look how much salt I've poured out into this. I know, it's quite shocking. Yeah.
Oh.
I know. So I'm going to start with maybe 1 tablespoon. Here we go. And you pour it into the large zip seal bag with the ice. And just for good measure, because it is the Sutton Festival and we've worked hard to get here, so I put in 2 things of ice. Now, first of all, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the salt is really touching the ice. And then, remember this bag? Okay, so you want to put the milk mixture in with that ice and the salt, okay? And again, you want to get out all the air like this, okay? So it should be like this. Now, this is where I would recommend a tea towel, because what you're going to do is you're going to turn it and turn it, and you're going to keep turning it, okay? So you just want to make sure that the milk mixture is always touching the salt water, okay? That's really, really important. Mm-hmm. And you're going to turn it for, say, about 10 to 15 minutes.
So this is like the churning effect then?
Exactly, yeah? It's just that, Fayon. It's just like the churning effect. Now, we want the temperature of that salt ice water to drop below 0. So okay. I've got myself a thermometer here. Now, you might not have it at home. You could use one that's used for cooking, or they're really cheap and you can buy them off Amazon, or if you're in school, you'll probably have one in your lab. Now, what I think, if you want to do it like a proper investigation and have some fun with it, is you're going to pop your thermometer, open up the zip seal bag, and you're going to want to pop the thermometer in. So can you see there? Yeah. It's touching the ice water.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you need that temperature to start dropping, and you want it to get well below 0.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this to the side a second. And
can I just say, we've got so many more people who've come into the presentation. Hi guys, good to see you. This is Sheila. We're making ice cream. If you've got any questions at all, please ask. You don't have to be a scientist. These things are in your kitchen cupboard that she's using to make this ice cream. So yeah, just please send your questions if you've got any.
Perfect. And like I said, so I'm just leaving that there for the second, but like I said, you'll have one of these worksheets as well. So you can do the investigation yourself, you can do the experiment. You've got, it says starting temperature, and then we recommend recording every 3 minutes or so, just to get a feel for it. And then there's a bit where you can present your findings and record your findings as well. So you can do it like a proper experiment. Now, obviously, we're not going to be here 15 minutes turning together, so I think it might be time, Fayon.
Is it time? Oh my gosh, we've got loads of questions coming.
Wow.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Okay. Well, I feel like, so you're going to have turned this for 15 minutes or so, and I can already see that even just being sat next to the icy water, that this is starting, the ice cream, the milk is starting to solidify even in the ice. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it? Now, do you think it's the reveal time, Fayon?
I'm going to get my fan.
I want to hear a drum roll, Fayon. Let's have a drum roll.
Everybody, I know that we cannot see you, but wherever you are, make some noise. Bang the desk, stamp your feet, make some noise. In 3, 2, 1. Ice cream.
I know, here it is. It's like a Blue Peter. Here's one I made earlier. So, can you see? This is amazing, isn't it? And this, no refrigeration, no electricity, everything was just done using salt. It's incredible, isn't it?
I'm just going to say, the chat is alive right here, right now. People are going, wow, that looks great, that looks awesome, yeet, yeet, yeet. I love that. Also coming. A lot of chat.
A lot of chat. So, now, as you can see, it is going to be like a, it's more like a Mr. Whippy. I would go for like that Mr. Whippy consistency, but I don't know about you, Fayon. I love a Mr. Whippy.
I do, as long as I can have the lactose thing, with a flake. And I like colour. I like the squeezy strawberry stuff, the flavouring on there as well.
Excellent. Now, Fayon, do you mind if I try a bit?
Please, please try some.
Now, because this is the best part of the experiment, guys. So once you make it, it's all about the tasting. Okay, so here we go. Oh, it is good. It's so tasty.
What does it taste like?
You can really get the vanilla.
Okay.
It's really good. And it's really creamy because you've got that milk. And it's like really soft and creamy. It's not, like I said, it's not hard. You don't actually get brain freeze, which is excellent.
It looks yummy. Thanks, Azra.
It is. I mean, it's a good thing I'm on screen. Otherwise, I would just keep eating this. So good.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, right then, I just want to go for maybe chocolate. I like chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I might, ooh. What if I put in like frozen fruit? Can I do that, do you think?
I think give it a go, because this is what's so exciting about this experiment, is that next time you do it, you can change. Like, I've gone for the vanilla essence, but you can try a chocolate one, a strawberry one. You can maybe put chopped chips in, see how it freezes and solidifies around that, see what happens to it.
My gosh. So this is the thing, guys, there is no holds barred on this one. I mean, I don't have extreme tastes, I don't think, but I bet you guys do. I mean, at the moment, I'm just thinking about fruit, but do send in the Q&A chat facility any questions that you have for Sheila. Remember, there is a history to this. This goes back to medieval times, when they didn't have refrigeration systems. They came up with this. I mean, is there an idea that you have for how you can sort of keep things cool? Or do you have any recipe ideas? Send them in on the chat. But you did say at the beginning that, you're not a scientist, you don't have a science background, but there is a science to this, isn't there?
Oh my goodness, there really is. And even though that was a really, really simple experiment, there's actually so much going on behind the scenes there. So, for example, if you were thinking about it at school or at home and you're thinking, what is happening in this experiment? Well, just to name a couple, and you can do your own research at home when you're trying again, but there's changes to the states of matter. So you know how we had the solid ice? Well, the solid ice melted and became that kind of salty water. And then the liquid milk mixture actually froze into a solid. So you had those changes of states of matter, and you had energy being transferred back and forth. It's an endothermic and an exothermic reaction. It's really exciting. But I think the most important thing that people need to take away from this, and Fayon, I hope you remember it, is that it's salt. The salt is the key ingredient, because the salt is like this, has magical powers, and it can lower the freezing temperature. It makes it so cold, that icy water, that it draws the heat out of that milk mixture. It freezes everything around it so that the milk becomes a solid. And I think that's incredible.
That is absolutely incredible. You just blipped out for me just for a second there, but I hope it wasn't for anybody else. So thank you. Now, company, I've got some questions. Thank you. Gurik Garawal, thank you. Sorry for any pronunciation problems here. Asks, has your company always worked with salt?
Oh, that's a very good question. We actually have always worked with salt. We, like I said, we started as a kind of trading company, and our first hall, we've had 7 halls. Our first hall was actually in Bread Street in the City of London, because we used to trade salt to the bakers, and then they would put it in their loaves of bread as a preservative. And then we just always continued to trade. We don't do it so much anymore, but now we are more of a charity, and we do lots of education things. So we run family workshops, school events, tours as well, but always kind of focusing on the kind of chemistry and science side behind salt.
Fantastic. Somebody was asking, maybe they haven't received the worksheet, they were asking where you can get the recipe from.
Yeah, so if you can't access the worksheet or you don't have it with you, you can go onto our website, salters.co.uk, and if you go into company, public programmes, you can get one of the worksheets there, and it tells you the instructions, the method, and there's a little bit of history as well. I would really check it out. It's really, really amazing.
Brilliant. And can you just confirm again what type of sugar, please? Luke Fordham was just asking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would go for caster sugar, just because it's a bit thinner. So you could try granulated, but we've always tried it with caster sugar. People who might want an alternative could try things like coconut sugar. And I would love to hear what you tried. So always feel free to send us a picture, email salters@co.uk, and we would love to hear what kind of recipes you come up with, what different alternatives. Share.
That's it. And people are asking again, you know, about the milk quantities, 150 mils, is it more, is it less? Mm-hmm. From what you're saying, start with a little, maybe start with 150 mils and then increase or decrease, it's up to you.
Exactly. I mean, you are in control of this experiment, which is what's so incredible, is that you can decide. You can make yourself a whole ice cream production line if you'd like. And now, we're all having to stay home a bit more, but the summer's here. You can make your own ice cream.
Yeah, absolutely, you can make your own. And is it in Indira? Indira and Christian is saying, can someone help? Now, I don't know if that's helping with your internet to creation here, because you've got a few problems I can see. But if you're asking for can somebody else help you, then please get somebody else to help you in on this. Vidang Pandit is saying, can you freeze it?
Well, I mean, you can freeze it, but the whole amazing thing about this experiment is that you don't need a fridge or a freezer. But if you wanted it to last, how you might get a tub of ice cream and then you put it in the freezer, you could always put your milk mixture, once it's solidified, in the freezer and keep it. And then you've got your ready-made ice cream for next time you've got people over or you want some ice cream on that hot sunny day.
That's the one. See, now here come all the questions. I like this one. What is it in the salt that makes it so useful? That's from Kevy P.
Well, that's the salt that lowers the temperature of the ice so much that it's going to draw the heat away. It's that energy transfer, and it's drawing the heat away from the milk. So it's the fact that the salt can make it so cold and draw the heat away from the milk mixture.
That's it. And it's a case of you guys obviously doing this at home. So do ask for your parents' permission before you start raiding the shelves and they're like, where's the milk? Where's the sugar? You're going to have to go to the shop. So please do that. I'm just double checking any more questions before we go. Oh, how do we get the recording of this session? Yeah, this recording is going to come via our website. So keep your eyes on the successful Sutton Bid website. I'll give more details of that in a moment. Oh, somebody's asking about an ice cream maker. Where's that one gone? I like that. Where's it gone? Oh, there was a question about an ice cream maker. I think somebody's trying to take a shortcut.
Give it a go.
Could you?
I mean, you could try. I mean, I haven't used an ice cream maker. I've always done it this way. But yeah, again, give it a go. Let us know.
And this question came through a little bit earlier, so I hope it's been answered for you now. They were asking, how does it link into science? And I think you gave some examples already. So that's that. People are asking for the worksheets, so you can get those online. And how much sugar, how much vanilla essence, we've covered that. And the reason everybody cannot see this yourselves on screen is because there's about 400 of us, 100 of you, and it's all about GBT as well. So we've got to protect you guys. So we can't have you guys seen on screen, but you can see us, of course. Just last couple of questions. Do you have to do the experiment? If you don't have the ingredients, all right, I understand. So that's coming a little bit late. I think that's all the questions. Oh, hello. Oh, somebody's asking if salt is sodium chloride, right?
Yes, yeah, it is sodium chloride, NaCl.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Okay, I think we've had all the questions. People still asking, you know, for the script, you can get this. I'm going to tell you exactly where in a moment. How many different flavors can you make? How much time have you got?
Exactly. Go crazy.
Okay. Oh, somebody's asking who invented ice cream.
Oh, that's a very good question. I know that the first person in England to try it was Charles I, but also the Romans were eating it as well. It's got an amazing history.
You see, and somebody was asking, who was that asking about where they get ice cream from in medieval times? Who was that? I just saw that flick through. Well, look, the Romans, they invented roads, they did everything else. So the last question, what other things can you freeze using this technique?
Oh, that's a very good question. I mean, you could try things like liquid. I mean, if you think you can make ice lollies with fruit juice and then you put the stick in the book. So really, it's endless. It's how much you want to try.
Okay, good. And Sebastian, I like this man. I like the cut of his jib. He's saying this is a Sebastian Sorisco on a scale of 1 to 10. How good is it?
Definitely a 10. It's got to be a 10. Because also it's homemade. I mean, I know I'm biased, but as soon as I go off this, I'm going to finish off the rest of my ice cream fail. And everyone, I'm being honest, I'm going to finish my ice cream.
Woody Melbourne, last question, because other people might be wanting to know this. It's the last question. Where does salt come from?
Oh, that's good. Well, you can there's two ways that you can get salt, and one is from the sea, so it's from evaporation. They used to have these huge salt pans that they would leave on the side of the water in the sea, and then the sun would evaporate, leaving the salt brine. So that's one way, evaporation. And another way is through mining. So you can drill right down into these salt mines and they kind of get scraped off. And it's actually something that still happens today. We've got some in the UK, some in Cheshire, and we've got at the Salters Hall actually this amazing salt statue. It's absolutely huge, kind of like almost life-size, from a rock salt mine in Cheshire. So the two ways are mining and evaporation.
Brilliant. And on the chat, people are actually asking and answering the questions for you. So thanks, guys, for getting so involved. There's one last question. Honestly, they've come in, they've just gone long. It's the last and final question. Somebody just wants to know, from start to finish, how long does the process take?
Oh, good question. Start to finish, I think it would take, from measuring out your ingredients to turning it and churning it, I would say about 20-25 minutes.
Excellent. Thank you. So I feel we could go on so much longer, Sheila, but we're going to have to get on to our next guest, but it's been wonderful to speak to you.
Thank you so much.
Everybody here, thank you so much for your participation. If you have a look at Enjoy Sutton on Facebook, we have basically got our big show on the 18th of July. It's for all age groups. There's everything there. We've got so much, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But do you just want to give your website details one more time where people can access this information before you go?
Yep, so it's www.salters.co.uk. And again, Theon, and to the virtual Sutton Science Festival, I just want to say a massive thank you. It's great to be part of it. I hope everyone at home has some really good fun. And I can't wait to see what the other guys have to bring.
Brilliant. Thanks again, Sheila. Thank you so much.